It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where division rivals will clash in the AFC West. It's the Broncos and the Silver and Black, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. Again, everyone, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Garoppolo looks to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. extra point attempt to come here. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Keep giving it to him. Come on, keep giving it to him. Let's go.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. And that's complete to Adams. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now this looks like a roughing call. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And the Broncos get there and take him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Looking to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 23. They begin the drive with Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. On fourth down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. On first down, Garoppolo. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Play action. Garoppolo lets this go for Renfro downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And this will be taken at the 13. And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a 1st down as well.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Play action. Now Wilson. Got his man. It's Dulcich. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. The 30. 10. 5. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. Washington now brings this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. It's their 3rd drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that 2nd drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
On 1st down, Wilson. Finds Dulcich out left side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Williams running left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They run it again with Williams. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On the counter, here's Williams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. On play action, now Garoppolo. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. On play action, it's Garoppolo. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Touchdown, Raiders! Jacoby Myers, 46 yards. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Washington now brings this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Denver's offense ready to go again. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 20-yard line. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Wilson. Screen play set up for Williams. So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy quarterback.
And I think really good defenders can sniff out those screen passes just so that they can be something that they can set about quarterback drop back or just a little slow to block the upcoming rushers. He read it perfectly. Got in there and made the play.
And the next gen stat shows the top speed there, better than 18 miles an hour. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Wilson. That's taken by Moses. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get 3rd down conversion.
When it's just not you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you feel like basketball teams don't normally press. You press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head toward the half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Wilson. And it's caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds at the line judge. The throw took a little too far. 2nd down.
It's a nice job defensively, just guys in their cover to make it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on the receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. To throw again is Wilson. And he's got no option here to throw it away.
Well, to me, there's no question about the intent there. I think he's a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding, but he'll get away with it and get a shot on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that adds some air at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Oh, there's one deep for Judy. And it's just dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. And a big gain is not really good.
Big math. They only converted one time thus far in this game. So you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs have been a problem for them all game. They got to start coming to solutions.
Riley Dixon now out of the way. He's been a team maker in the first half as he gets away. Now Brown. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Justin Simmons firing all the way in from his safety position. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously. Led to a very quick sack.
They decided to go with a safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, the quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside, as he did there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. That'll give him 8 that time, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 23. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, complete to Judy. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brendan, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. Now Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. This one swung out to Williams. And he slips steps up past the 45 before being tackled. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
These guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're not panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From just shy of midfield, Wilson. Got a man open in Sutton. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Throwing is Wilson. And it is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punch this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away, and incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he will have a Broncos 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And that is incomplete here.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wilson will throw again. Got a man. It's Judy complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. The 3rd down conversion is successful. Give them 12 yards that time.
Yeah, these are the types of plays we're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. Calling a gain of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes get down? Tip, tap, got him down? What did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no stake.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, you plays like that, you at least expect a 1st down there, just 1 yard. We're going right back to Hamler. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Throwing again here, Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the 1st.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. yards remain on second down. Here's Wilson to throw. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
And down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Again, Wilson. And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy immediate waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. That is going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Denver. And they've had plenty of success throwing the football so far this afternoon, as they're on pace to throw for over 300 yards if their form holds. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they weren't quite as successful throwing the ball as their counterparts were, but they still were able to move the ball reasonably well in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in the second half as they trail, and we are back underway. Taking it about the 1. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bronco offense ready to begin this third quarter play. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, it resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. In man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's his carry. Here's Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
From the 41, Wilson. Got his man, it's Dosich. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
Now, that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That looked like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold it to just a yard.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
In any running play that's called, they're always hoping it's going to break big and can go the distance. When you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
It's taking this offense to get going a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
He's shaking the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's Wilson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Wilson. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Broncos have got it back to within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis there on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relax. Done.
The extra point up and good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake in the line of scrimmage, getting right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action, Garoppolo. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. It just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
3 yards remain for second down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum. The other side is starting to gain.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is set away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Russell Wilson and the Broncos set for another offensive series. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes, too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of the route, too.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Max Crosby getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has to count as a great team effort today. This man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game. Even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw there complete to Myers. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 34. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Garoppolo. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And they'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Garoppolo looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and power it home here with a fullback Johnson. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead
makes you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. A big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. They take it in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Broncos about set to go on offense. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs. Because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark it down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now it's Wilson. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson to the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves your chains as well.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
To throw again is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Trying to find Greg Dulcich there, and it's third down and 2.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. And don't want an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
After the incompletion, here now, third and 2. Here's Wilson. Williams. And he will have the Broncos first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. A two-score game, obviously. Every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Right side is Hamler pulling it in. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again here, Wilson. They're going right back to Hamler. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 3 from the 9. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Well, sometimes it's hard to take your eyes off this guy at the linebacker position. He can really cover some ground, and he did there to make that play.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing. And that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he can make anything happen.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Broncos have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to boot it away, Riley Dixon. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Jacobs going to try the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
On 2nd down and 4. Garoppolo. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field. And they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes, because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson.
This pass caught by Hamler. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the 1st down. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Williams. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line.
He lost 6 there on the first down play.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's capped off by the touchdown run from Jerry Jeudy.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field.
They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And the Broncos get there and take him down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And Denver getting set to take the field. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Wilson to throw. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Wilson. Caught by Dulcich, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor, and it's a first down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Throwing now is Wilson. Flush to his right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Nice solid game there, partner, but the clock is starting to become his enemy.
Absolutely. Every second right now, more and more precious as it ticks. The Broncos in the hurry-up trying to get to their positions and get set quickly. Here's Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now Wilson. He'll drop this down to Williams. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. You've got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This a long one from 54. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
Now Garoppolo. Here we go. This to avoid overtime. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
They go play action with Wilson. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up second down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold them just a couple and force a third down.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 46 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. On the option to give to Williams here. And he will have a Broncos 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. But they went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Again, it's Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From midfield now, here's Wilson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. So 3rd down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less because you got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
Got a man. It's Judy, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call. But when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller and it's working for them in overtime.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. They've had some success here in overtime in this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Steps away to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that drive is going pretty darn well. 3 previous times converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said enough of that.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Following the field goal on is Riley Dixon to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, and I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
Garoppolo's throw taken in by Adams. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Garoppolo to throw. The left side throw complete to Adams. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 38-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
Play smart, baby.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially keep this game alive at OT. And he got it. It's good. They answer with a field goal of their own to send this game into sudden death. Well, this one certainly has not lacked for intrigue. And let's keep playing. What do you say?
Fine by me. I'm loving what we're seeing here. This is a heck of a game. And now, guess what? A kicker may decide it again, and the next one that does it wins it.
Will 3 points be enough to do it? We'll soon know as we continue here in overtime. Washington now brings this out. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the third drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 79 yards on the ground for him so far.
And, partner, I've not been a huge fan of a certain cliche, but it does actually apply here. Who actually wants it more now? I mean, both of them have gotten field goals here in overtime.
Yeah, they've been out there a long time trading field goals. Now we'll see who wants it more.
Yeah, mental conditioning as well as physical conditioning is going to determine who wins this one.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he gets this up past the 30.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's got Hamler on the out route. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Robert Spillane able to bring him down.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And they'll run the end around here with Judy. They find some open field here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 32 on the play. Well, for a play that didn't look like much at the snap, that jet sweep turned into a big play in a hurry.
And how about how they ran the play? Because they obviously caught the defense out of position and not expecting that one, and that turned into a nice chunk of yardage. But how about the execution on the handoff? Most of the times we see on the jet sweep, they punch it forward so that if it falls to the ground, it's just an incomplete pass. Here, you've got to execute it well, otherwise it's a fumble.
Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. this to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And it'll be all smiles on Blake Street tonight. The Broncos have won it. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.